Yes, people, welcome to Flex's Player Ratings show. Yes, I've got my own show. They gave me my own show, my own player ratings. Yes, thank you, Josh. Do you know what I mean? I always thought, I never really give my view on the players in terms of player rating. So if you guys want to see this more, first of all, let us know. Smash a like on the video. It's nice to do it after a win. But yeah, I'm going to be doing these after every game as well and just let you guys know what I'm thinking about the team. Right, Andre Onana. I mean, he's just making far too many mistakes. I want him to come out the other end of it. I want him to be able to, I want us as well to be able to look back and say, remember them first 10 games he had for us. Remember them first 11 games he had for us where he was just literally throwing it in the net. Wow, look at him now. That's what I want to be able to say. But right now, he's moving crazy. He's letting in some real bad ones, and he's costing us. He really is. He made up for the mistake by making some 2 decent saves, but that's criminal to let that in and even make us be in that position. He celebrated like a madman because he thought, wow, Scott, you just absolutely saved my ass. I got to give him a 3. I really do. And that's because we won. I'm giving him a 3, to be honest, because it could have been less. It could have been a 0. It could have been a 0, let's be honest, because, if you think about it, we could have won that 1-0. Brentford were never going to score. It didn't look like they were ever going to score. So we should never have conceded today. But there was more to do with the mistake about how the goal even came about. But essentially, that goal cannot go in. So he gets a 3 for me today. Could have been less. Diogo Dalot, I thought he showed a lot of fight. I thought he did okay today. I'm going to give him a 6. I thought he was energetic. He had a bit of passion. He had a bit between his teeth. Before the game, he was sort of walking around when they run out from the thing, from the not the huddle, when they line up. And then they kind of do their little sprints. He was giving it to the fans to sort of say, get behind us, come on. And you know what, Old Trafford did react to that. It did react to a couple of the players going, come on, we got you today. They didn't play like it for large parts, but in the end, we got what we wanted. But yeah, I thought Dalot was okay. I'll give him a 6. I think he was steady today. I don't think he really did anything wrong. Let's get to Maguire, right centre-back today. I thought he was really good. Me and Marcel said in the car, start Maguire. And the reason why I was saying start Maguire, we didn't mean start him over Varane. The reason why we said it was to put Lindelof right back, to put Dalot left back, and then bring in Maguire next to Varane so that we can free up Amrabat to be in midfield. It so turned out that he did get his start anyway for different circumstances, because obviously with Varane getting injured, and we don't know why Jonny Evans started, but Maguire did really well. I'm gonna give him an 8. I'm gonna give him an 8. I thought he won his duels, he won his headers, he stepped in on Wissa, when he needed to be aggressive, to not let him turn. I think especially when they had to play 1v1 with Mbeumo and Wissa, we were getting done a little bit. That was causing us problems, and Maguire was sometimes in spaces where he didn't want to be. I think he managed to deal with that quite well, considering he could have got skinned a lot of times. A couple of times firefighting, he came across and headed it down to Jonny Evans when there was a ball over the top. They just looked quite assured. They just both did their job. So yeah, I think there was quite a solid basis in a game where we were going to dominate possession. A couple of good switches of play as well. I think he was good. And he gets an assist. Listen, that header back across to Scott to keep the ball in play, it's a vital part of that goal. So Maguire gets an assist to give us a match-winning goal. So I'm going to give him an 8. Jonny Evans, I'm going to give him an 8 as well. I thought he was solid. This is, again, two-footed player. Who would have thought when Jonny Evans got a contract for the year that he would come into games and have this sort of impact? He's living the dream. But it's not tokenism. Like, he's come in and he's done his job. He's understands where to be. He understands the game. Should he be playing week in, week out for Man United? Is it a bit embarrassing where we're at with our centre-back? You could say that, absolutely. But in the context of 90 minutes, I think he'd done his job. He made sure Neil Maupay didn't get any joy. Made sure that Mbeumo or Wissa, whoever it was he had, that they didn't get loads and loads of joy because they're tricky players. And it was a game where Man United was on the front foot. Again, some good clip passes as well. And just seeing the danger before it happens. Just a steady performance. But because there wasn't much to shout about of a lot of others, I'm going to give him an 8 as well. Left back, Victor Lindelof, poor today. He was part of that melee of mistakes that led to the first goal. He had the opportunity to clear it. He didn't. Kicked it straight back to the Brentford player, which then went back to their player, and then they score. I'm going to give him a 4. I don't, and he actually hasn't been playing well at centre half as well, really, at the minute. I don't know if it's because he's playing a lot of games. He's not used to that recently. but his form's been really bad and he hasn't been playing well. So Victor, for me, wasn't his best game, and obviously he got taken off as well. So I'm going to give him a 4. Into midfield, Sofian Amrabat. I thought he was okay. He kept the ball moving side to side. You know, he won a few duels, but him and the midfield was quite disjointed, to be fair. It wasn't really working. But him individually, I thought he was okay. 5, just average. I think he was just average. I don't think he'd done anything great. I might boost it to a 6, but I think he was okay. Did you know what? I'll give him a 6. We won the game. I'm in a good mood. I'll give him a flat 6. I think he was okay. But we still need to see more from him, obviously, when the midfield gets more balanced. Casemiro, hooked at half-time. Awful. Absolutely awful. 1. I mean, you could say I'm being a bit harsh because, you know, even Onana got a 3 or a 4. But he was hooked at half-time. He was that bad that Eric Ten Hag said, get off. Obviously gave the ball away that led to the goal, gave a couple away before that, looked a little bit leggy. He will know. He is way off it right now. I'll give him a 2. He was really, really bad. It could have been a 0 because it actually should be a 0 because he only played one half and he didn't do anything good. He didn't do anything good, did he? So I've actually got to give him a 0 because it's not like he had the second half where he could rectify it and he was part of the team that came back. He was on for 45 minutes, gave the ball away quite a few times, cost us a goal, and then came off. So yeah, 0. Who else was in midfield? Bruno. Oh no, he was on the right to start off with. I'll go Mason Mount first. Mason Mount, I think he did okay. He tried to get on the ball, tried to make things happen, but it wasn't amazing. There were some bits where he tried to get on the ball. Other times he was a little bit quiet. I give him a flat 5. Well, I gave Amrabat a 6. He wasn't worse than Amrabat. Them two should really get 5s then. They should really get 5s. Amrabat gets a 5. Mason Mount gets a 5. I'm going to say. Just to keep it, you know, level, because I can't be giving Amrabat higher than Mount. You know what I mean? If anything, I'll probably shade Mount to Amrabat. So yeah, I'm gonna give them both 5s because midfield today we wasn't good, was we? We really wasn't. So that's the 3 midfielders done. Marcus Rashford again taken off early, didn't do anything. 2. Poor again. You know, he keeps getting away with his bad performances, and Ten Hag keeps taking him off because he's not happy with what he's seeing. So Marcus again, just not at it, not doing enough, not seeing it. 2 for him. Højlund, I thought he tried. You know, held up the ball well. He's working in tight spaces, crowded out a lot of the time. I'll give him a 6. I think he was okay today. Feeding off scraps, back to feeding off scraps again. There wasn't a lot of space in behind, obviously, with them playing a back 5 with the wing backs. Really limited space for him to engage in, but he was up for the battle, held onto the ball where he could, and fed off scraps. So I'll give him a 6. It wasn't for the want of trying. Bruno, wow, easily could have got taken off. Easily should have got taken off as well. Wasn't very, very good at all today. I'll give him a 2. I thought he was poor. Crap use of the ball. Wasteful. Moaning at other players when he wasn't really doing much himself. Okay, he plays the ball into the far stick that Maguire heads back, so he gets a pre-assist, but let's be real. For 90 minutes or 95 minutes before he did that, in the 96th minute, he was non-existent. He was really poor, and I thought he was tactically naive as well, especially in the first half, trying to gamble, getting the ball off the centre-back instead of tucking in and just giving us a little bit more solidity in front of Aaron Hickey. He just kept letting him play out because he's too interested in trying to press too high to nick the ball, which was never on. So he wasn't playing the percentage game. So, yeah, tactically naive from Bruno and a bad performance for me. Looking at the subs now. This is where it gets interesting. I thought Martial came on, looked okay. I'll give him a 6. Held the ball quite well, kept the ball moving, didn't make any silly decisions. Just kept the ball. Don't do anything silly. Had a shot as well where we could have won. At that point, yeah, it was a shot on target. But he came on and just did what he needed to do in terms of just being sensible. You know what I mean? And he did well. So I'll give him a 6. Garnacho came on, was lively. I'll give him a 6 as well. Done well to keep the ball in. That led to the Scott McTominay goal, actually. Little bit more willingness from him to engage, and he did okay in the 40. Not amazing, but he did okay because he was getting doubled up on, and that was testament to Brentford's shape. You know, both wingers didn't really have much joy. Anthony came on, did okay, 5. Ran about a little bit, gave us a little bit of an option, but again, Marcel touched on it earlier, like just going backwards every time. Had a shot over the bar, crossed too high, not really much quality, so I give him a 5. Scott McTominay, 9. Well, actually, Scott McTominay gets a 10. Scott McTominay has to get a 10. He was on for 8 minutes or something like that. Score 2 goals, won us the game, mate. This is perfection. This is perfection. And the finish that he actually does for the first goal is not easy. When it happens really quickly and you're far away from it in the ground, you don't really know what happened. When I looked at it back, he controls it out there like that, gathers it down, puts it into the bottom corner, really good finish. Second goal, make sure you're there, good header. Obviously the keeper may have done better, tipped it onto the bar post and it went in. But Scott McTominay has been on the pitch for about 10 minutes, scored 2 goals and won Man United the game. How can you not get a 10? It's perfection. With him coming on, he couldn't do any more as a sub than that. Okay, boss, I'll score 2 goals and we will win. It's 10. So Scott McTominay scores a 10 in my first individual player ratings. Ten Hag, do you know what? He actually made good subs. His sub in McTominay came on and won us the game. He hooked. Oh, I didn't give Eriksen a rating actually. Eriksen, I'll give a 6. I thought he was okay. He came on, he had some decent passes, but couldn't really affect the game that much. But I could see what Ten Hag's thinking was. He wanted someone who could actually pass the ball properly because Casemiro weren't doing it. So he was a flat 6. But Ten Hag, I think Ten Hag deserves. But he didn't take off Rashford. He did take off Rashford. He didn't take off Bruno. Can't get it all. I'll give Ten Hag a 7. I'll give him a 7. He was straight in there and said, Casemiro, get off. And that could have been Bruno. That could have been Rashford, to be fair, but it had to be someone, and one of the 3 who was playing bad. And Casemiro was definitely playing bad, so that was good from him. He brought on Garnacho quite early, which was good to see, and obviously the change for McTominay worked. So you got to give Ten Hag a 7, and I'm just glad we won this game. So let me know what your not predictions. Let me know if you agree with my player ratings. Am I a disgrace? Am I a cheat? I don't know. You tell me. Do you agree or disagree with my player ratings? I'm out of here. Take care. Peace. I'm okay with disgrace.